Here we are another Friday morning at HTB Beauty. Good morning, John. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for watching. We are stylists from the back room.
Good morning, Eddie. Good morning. We haven't come up with a name yet, so I'm going to call them the HTB Empire.
You trying to come up like Hulkamaniacs? You're trying to come up with
Yeah. We got to come up with a name for our peeps, man. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good.
You had a good week so far, my friend?
Man, there is so much construction going on around where the salon is.
Whoosh.
I got stuck for an hour, 15 minutes trying to move 3 blocks. Let me tell you how I was running behind last night. It was mental, absolutely mental.
No.
I ran behind because I got there so late. The clients were late. Everybody was late. It was insane. And I'll tell you what. People complained about the construction.
Right.
Nobody got upset. People were frustrated. Yeah, sure. But nobody got upset. I didn't make a big to-do about it. Nobody got canceled. Knocked everybody out. And it's like, you're like in cruise control.
Right.
But then you turn it on because, you got to move. I banged out 3 color and partials, like color partial, right?
Right.
I applied all 3 of them so quickly that the timer was going off within like 5 minutes of each other. I'm in the middle of the shampoo bowl. The timer's going off, and I'm going, I can't get back there to. Hey, like I'm calling to the next client, sitting there. Can you turn that off, please?
Right.
Just, am I done? I'm like, I don't know. Can you check her foil? And she's like, I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm like, just open it up. Does it look blonde? She's like, I'm not touching this.
Right. Yeah.
It just the interaction of the clients. Like, if you can do it the right way, and if you can figure out how to get your clients to interact amongst each other, because that's what I do. I have the ability to do this because I work late at night, and usually everybody else goes home. So there's only a few of us at night. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And if you're an independent, then you definitely have the ability to do this. Don't create a waiting area. If you want to have a waiting area, then you're earmarking, I don't know how many, what is that, 10 square feet, 15, 20 square feet, whatever that is, like 2 chairs or a chair or a bench or something.
Yeah.
Bring that right over to your chair and stick it right by your chair somewhere, like within arm's reach, literally that close. That's what I did last night. I had the client that was I started my one client. The next one came. I'm like, you know what? Why are you sitting over there? I'm not going to yell. I don't want to yell across the salon. Come here. Come over here. Have a seat in this station. She's like, oh, isn't this, so-and-so's? I'm like, yeah. She's not here. She left for the day. Just sit down. You want something? You want me to get you something? She's like, no, I'm fine. I'm like, introduce each other to each other, the clients, talk amongst yourself. In the meantime, I'm working. I'm just doing what I need to do. I'm interjecting here and there as I need to, just to keep the thing going. As I'm finishing up my application, I start doing the consult. I'm like, here, let your hair down out of your little clippy. Grab my brush real quick. Start brushing your hair out for me. Let me take a look. And I'm like half looking at what I'm applying in the foil, and I'm half looking, like that moment where you got to look at the foil because you're starting to apply. But then as you're pulling it through the length of the rest of the foil in the hair shaft, as I'm doing that, I'm like, yeah. Brush around your ear, lift up around your ear. Oh, let me pull this up.
Right. That's exactly. I do it.
It was so ridiculous, but you know what?
In my shop, I've had them in my chair, in the chair that also has the dryer, and then in the shampoo bowl. And the 3 of them are talking, and I'm doing my thing. And it's great. It's great. I love it. I love it. I don't have to yell
construction, man. It's got to go. There's got to be a better way to do this construction stuff. It's out of control.
There's 2 seasons in Illinois. There's winter and road construction season. End of story.
And winter is over. Winter is over when everything is backed up with construction.
Yeah. But yesterday we just had the longest day of the year, so it's all downhill from here. So
it was the longest day, man. I was at the salon really late. Yeah, yesterday was a really long day.
Yeah, it is. So I got some fun stuff for you today, my friend.
Yeah, what you got?
Are you ready?
No.
I want you to put that picture up I sent you, if you wouldn't mind, sir.
When? Right now?
Right now.
Oh.
Right now.
Yes. Picture up. Let's go. Any day now?
Eddie is there. It is.
There we go.
This is what we are being asked for a lot. I've had over the past few weeks at least 6 of the younger girls ask me for the butterfly cut. Now, this is the long version of the butterfly cut. The butterfly cut can also be used on medium hair, and actually there is a shorter, not a pixie, but a short butterfly cut too. And it's all based around, I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember the Farrah Fawcett haircut.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's based like that. Okay, it's based around that. It's heavily layered in the crown, and the layers usually fall about 1 inch from the chin. Okay, and then they progress from there. The best part about this is it could be used. This haircut is for straight or wavy hair. If you have curly hair, I totally would not recommend that because you're going to end up looking like a triangle. It's great for rounder face shapes because it softens the features and it really counteracts fullness in the cheeks. So this is the long version of the butterfly cut. And just for you guys to be aware that a lot of the young ladies that we deal with are coming in asking for the butterfly cut, which makes me happy because I was really tired of hearing about curtain bangs. Okay. So that's where we're at with that haircut. Now, new hair color trend for 2024, and it's the color to look for. Are you ready?
Okay.
Eddie, did I lose you? Okay. There we go. It's called Midnight Berry. And it's a saturated purple and deep blue. Huh?
I like the name Midnight Berry.
It's a We're having a
You froze up, huh? That is the fun of live streams. You know, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, real bad.
You never know what's going to happen. All right. Well, if I'm going to lose you, then I got to keep this thing going. While I'm waiting for you. So you're talking about Midnight Berry as being a color trend for this year. So Midnight Berry is got it's a dark blue base. You know, it's got obviously it's so funny because blueberries are not blue, they're purple. And there's this little there's this comedian guy. Oh, I got to remember what his name is. Oh man, it's an Australian comedian who does it's a puppet, but it's really not a puppet. Man, I got to remember what the name is. It'll come to me in a few. But that's one of his jokes is always, you know, what color are berries? You know, people say blue and then it goes purple. So he always gets upset about it.
Right.
But here we go again. I like the name, but again, it's one of those things where it's named after a food. And we are just so obsessed with naming our trends after drinks or foods. The thing to remember about this trend is that the base level of it is dark. You're going to be in your levels 4, levels 5, level 6. What that means is, to a client who's not a colorist watching this, it's going to be really deep, rich, and dark. And that's okay. That's a good thing in some ways, but in another way, what gets tricky about that is what you got to think about. What happens when the light is hitting it? You know, you get you're not going to see the reflection unless the light is hitting it. But if you're sitting just regular, then you're not going to see it as much. If you're outside in direct sunlight, yeah, then you'll be able to see it better. If you're in, um, underneath a spotlight type thing, or if you take a picture in a flash, you'll be able to see it a little better. But if you're in direct sunlight, I mean, if you're just sitting not in direct lighting, it's going to get tricky. You may not necessarily be able to see that show through. So that's the difference with that kind of a color trend, which is fun. Welcome back.
Hey.
Are you letting the dog out? All right. So yeah, between now would that midnight berry trend work on the butterfly haircut? Yeah, probably. It could work with that. That butterfly haircut though gives such an opportunity to be able to create highlighting effects and different coloring effects all through that as well.
Right. Right.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys.
I'm trying to remember the Australian comedian who, it's a puppet, but it's really like it's so realistic. I've sent you clips of it before in the past.
I don't remember. Yeah. So you hit all the buttons on the midnight berry. It's a saturated purple and deep blue. It combines it really combines for a really nice rich and complex color. The lightest level that you can go with the midnight berry is a level 6. So you hit all the buttons on that. So
I do like doing it. I do it a lot. I do like that color.
Right. We ran into that problem when the eggplants came out.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, we refer to it as eggplant color, but they're naming it as a trend, midnight berry. Then that's fine. It's all, everything old becomes new. We say that all the time. It just refreshed with a new look, a new name, and that's fine.
Right.
It's a cool color. It's a beautiful color.
It is. It really is.
I would definitely. I'm kind of twisted like that. If you have a fair complexion, it makes you look kind of semi-gothic. And to me, that's sexy as hell. But then if you actually have a little bit of skin color, if you have some life in you, you're tan a little bit, man, does that play very well. And if you have a dark complexion, whoa, baby, that really, really enhances the features and makes the eye color pop.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
a pretty universal, color for all people.
It's super cool. It's super cool. So along the lines of hair color for this week, we are seeing industry-wide a surge in semi-permanent and temporary hair color.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And what they're finding out is that it's, with semi or temporary, there's no commitment to the color. People are using it for quick fixes for grays if they can't get into the salon, or they have a special event and they just want to camouflage their grays for that event and then go back to their normal hair color. And the big one is for people to really gives them an opportunity.
Yo, John, do you have like a hotspot? Or do you have
You
like
didn't hear a
a
word I
local
said.
Wi-Fi or something?
Did you?
Because it seems like they're just doing work in your area today. You're just going to be cutting in and out, huh?
They're killing me. They're killing me right now. Hold on. Let me see if I can create a hotspot here. Go. Uh, uh,
So temporary,
so
you said
with
temporary
that being
colors and
said, there
semi-colors.
people are trying color on instead of really committing to it.
Okay. Temporary colors are interesting. So I always have an interesting relationship with temporary color and semi-color because
Yeah.
traditionally speaking, temporary color and semi-color is more your fantasy colors, or it's more of your rinses. It's more of your kind of like your shades for the week, or for the summer. They're very temporary shades. It's interesting to see how much more people,
Right.
it's just become such a part of culture now. It's just become such a part of society now that it's such a natural thing to start coloring hair. I think what's interesting and what's good about using temporary or semi colors is that we are starting to see in the salon a lot more younger kids are wanting to get their hair colored. And traditionally the what do you call that? The concessions that we have made, or the middle ground that we have found between the kids and the parents, is if we just kind of do the tips and we just kind of do like a little bit from the midshaft to the ends, we stay away from the scalp, then that's been something fun. Now as hairstyles and hair color becomes more prevalent in the younger, generations and the younger kids, yeah, temporary and semi colors definitely is a safer way than doing a complete change, as like with permanent color. Now, as far as for people our age and an older
Right.
generation, there is a healthcare concern. Permanent hair color has evolved leaps and bounds, and it has become far healthier. And then with the advent of certified organic based hair colors, like All Nutrient, for example, you have a pretty much safe way to be able to color your hair and cover gray and do what you need to do. Now, there are people that are very health conscious and they want to do like a little test dry. They want to dip their feet in the water type thing, because especially during the shutdown time for that year or two, a lot of people just let themselves go and they just let their hair grow out natural and they went back to gray. So being able to come back in and start coloring your hair again comes with a level of maintenance, comes with a level of commitment. And now, like I said, there's a health concern that's more of an issue nowadays than it's ever been before. So yeah, I could see semi and demi permanent color being a valid, viable option, in all of that. So I'm all for it. Yeah, I'm actually all for that. I think that's pretty cool. I think though there is a tricky sweet spot
That's
with
awesome.
all of that.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, but there's a sweet
Right.
spot there because you still got to go to a salon and get your hair done. If you're going to get it yourself and you're going, like, a lot of people think if you're going to go get it yourself and like, how's that called when you buy it from the store yourself, over the counter, like if you're going to do it yourself and you're getting over the counter product, are you really saving any money now anymore with inflation being what it is? And I don't know if you're back yet, but do you have an opinion on that? Or did I just lose you altogether again? Yeah.
Can you
Well,
hear
until
me?
you can make it back to us, um, over the counter products are expensive now. Carmelina, she'll go shopping and I'll just walk around aimlessly because some stores they don't have a lost souls bench for the guys to sit on while the wife is walking around. And I'm just not gonna follow her up and down every single aisle because what I'll end up doing is I'll end up wandering off into the electronics aisle, or I'll end up wandering off into the toy section, or I'll end up wandering off nowadays into the beauty care section as well too, just to kind of see what's going on with the over-the-counter stuff. And I'll tell you, man, the prices that they're charging for this, and then the clients come in and they complain at the salon, or I'll hear stylists complain, oh, my client's not going to pay my prices when they can get it cheaper at the store. What cheaper do you think they're getting it at the store? What lower cost do you think they're getting it at the store? Because some of the prices at the store is actually more expensive than what we charge at the salon. So that kind of leads me to the idea of maybe we need to raise our retail prices at the salon to match the store prices, or, we suck at sales. But it's and it's not, I'm not talking about me. I'm just saying, like, in general, I'm saying generally speaking, that those days are over where a lot of stylists would justify not being able to sell retail because the client could just get it off the internet, for less, or go to the store and get it for less. No, not anymore.
Right.
Not with inflation being what it is.
No, and really, if you look at what the prices you're charging in the shop, and you go to Amazon, it's pennies. It's pennies, if there is a difference at all. It's go ahead.
I've talked about this before. I still do, but I'm not getting it lately anymore. So I've either converted all of my clients into purchasing directly from me, or it's just the prices are just normalized now and it's out of control. I used to accept all coupons and further beat all coupons by an additional 5%. So my favorite thing was people would come in with 20% Bed Bath and Beyond. And I'm like, you can't even buy hair care products from there. What the hell is this? I'm like, really? 20% Bed Bath and Beyond? You know what though? I'll give you 25% off whatever you want to purchase. Go pick something off the shelf. I don't care.
Right.
Or people would come in and say, they'd show me a screenshot on their phone. Oh, I found this on eBay for whatever the price, I'm like, you know what? I'll match that price and I'll take another 5% off that price too. Like, just because. So now you have no excuse. You could walk out with it right now,
Right.
And it just got to the point where I'm just not seeing that ridiculousness anymore. And like I said, as I go walking around and looking at these prices at the stores, they're charging higher than what I'm charging at the salon.
Right.
Stupid. It's so stupid.
Well, and I do the same thing because I'll wander into the at wherever we are. I'll wander into the product aisle because I just want to see what my clients are going to be looking at, and it's the same thing. And the price and their pricing is super close to what we're doing. And now with the advent of a lot of our distributors, being able to, our client can actually order it straight from them. And they get their package on the doorstep because everybody loves Christmas every day.
You're talking about the what is that program called? The affiliate program.
Right. A lot of most distributors are going to affiliate programs now where they'll ship directly to your client, so your client gets to have their Amazon moment every day. It's a win-win. And I know that you and I were at odds about this subject a little bit too. But, the way I look at it is I'd rather have a percentage of something than 100% of nothing. And I don't want to help Bezos put another rocket into the outer space. I'd rather have some of that money in my pocket. That's me. And now he's going to be sending me hate mail.
No, I got you. There's a lot of hairstylists who, and there's a lot of salons, with the modern trends of how business is being conducted. There's not a lot of room for retail space. So being able to have a link to give your clients for them to be able to order, or if the client doesn't have the opportunity, because some clients are traveling from far away to come to the salon. So even if you do have the retail space, for a matter of convenience for your client who is traveling to come to see you, now you can share with them a link and they can still order through you the products that you're recommending for them to maintain their hair care regimen that you assigned
Right.
them. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay, then that works out. Then
Yeah.
I can get behind that,
Yeah. I just think that
And that is something at HTB Beauty that I'm starting to work on as well too. I'm in the middle of building that out because I in the beginning I didn't understand and I was against it. After speaking to multiple stylists and to multiple accounts that we have, okay, the consensus, you're liking it, you're asking for it. So, okay, I understand now. I get it.
what I would love to know, anybody watching, what is your retail strategy with your clients? I put it in the comments, send us a message, whatever. I want to know I'm always very curious to learn from other stylists how they handle it and how they do it, because I personally believe that retail sales is part of what we do, and it helps defer a lot of our costs, and it keeps greasing the treads of the machine, that is the salon. But that's I always go round and round with young stylists, because they'll always tell me, well, I'm not a salesperson. You are. You are. You may not be
It's
selling.
not even being about a salesperson, though. It's about protecting your investment into your client's hair, and it's about your client protecting their investment into their own hair.
You
So it's really nothing to do about the sales because somebody look, you're not a food connoisseur, you're not a foodie, but you eat every day. You go to a restaurant, or you go to the grocery to fill up your fridge. You know what I mean? You're
right.
not a plumber, but you go to the bathroom every day and you use the toilet. I mean, if you want asinine analogies, I'll come up with stupidity all day for this
Right.
argument because
Right. I
it's
get
not,
it.
it shouldn't be an argument. You're just trying to provide a service to your client. Part of that service is maintaining the hair. Part of maintaining that hair is having to use product to maintain that style and that hair. So if you are not selling your client a product, if you're not recommending them something, if they're not buying it from you, they're buying it from somebody else. In
Right.
essence, I see a lot of videos nowadays that's trends, all these tests that people do to their spouse or to their partner or to their, the person they're dating. If you had the choice, you could kiss me for $1 or you could kiss somebody else for $1,000. Who would you choose? And then the person, oh, I'd get $1,000. Oh, you wouldn't pick me? Okay, well, if that same analogy, right? If you're not recommending the retail, then they're picking somebody else. They're not picking you.
Right.
So then they're cheating on you. So
Right.
then use that analogy too. I mean, I'll come up with. I will throw a grenade into this conversation all day.
We're of like mind with
Don't make
this.
no sense. It's a goofy
We are
conversation.
totally of like mind of all this. And um I do want to ask you a question, though,
Yeah.
because
Oh, geez. I thought I turned that off. My bad.
here's
That
bad.
gave me a jump.
Uh, I did want to ask you a question, though, because I how do I put this? I was blow drying a client the other day, and we were putting volume in her hair. Okay.
Okay.
And I never got the opportunity to take Art of the Blow Dry,
Yeah.
the class from that you teach, Ergo, right?
Well, Ergo has a blow drying program called Art of the Blow Dry.
Right.
I have a personal blow drying program that I do. It's different. Mine is the 15-minute blow dry.
Okay.
Art of the Blow Dry from Ergo, though, was since you brought that up, let me tell you, Art of the Blow Dry from Ergo is an amazing program. It really goes through the science and the craft of creating amazing volume into the hair.
Right.
These guys are amazing at what they do with creating volume and fullness into the hair. Okay. For me, I do the 15-minute blowout. That's my program. The reason why my program is very different, it got nothing to do with Art of the Blow Dry, is because for me personally, and this isn't against anything against Art of the Blow Dry, because that really is an amazing program. I'm just not a blow dryer. I never enjoyed blow drying. I never enjoyed styling. I still don't enjoy blow drying, and I still don't enjoy styling. My preference is to do hair extensions, treatments, hair color. Okay. I don't do updos. I just don't have the hands or the patience. It is a craft onto itself. It's an amazing, beautiful art onto itself.
Agreed.
I don't have the hands for that. Okay.
Right.
And the blow dry styling, my shoulder is bad. So I physically, it pains me to hold the blow dryer for that long, and do those revolutions and those repetitions. But blow drying is a very serious part of what we do. The finish, if you can't finish what you started, then it's going to look like crap, right? It doesn't matter if you do the best color in the world, the best hair extension in the world. If you can't finish it right, it's a bad job. Conversely, if you do the worst color, the worst hair extension, the worst treatment, and the hair is, you just messed up the hair. But if you can blow dry style it beautifully, you could cover up all of your mistakes, man.
Right.
And this is why people got so good at curling hair. And this is the joke that you and I do in our color classes at HTB all the time, is anytime a client comes in and they got the beachy wave picture that they're showing you from Insta, what is that? Yeah. Oh yeah. Look at the waves. Look at the curls. Ooh, beautiful. Yes, they are. But what is that hiding? What discrepancy is being hidden inside of those curls? Because I always tell a client when they come in and like, I want this, not can I have this, not do you think of this? I want this. I'm like, you've really doubled down, huh? Yeah. I'm like, all right, I will do it for you for free if you can find me the same picture of the same girl with straight blow dry hair. Now I will, not only will I do it, I will do it for free. Find me the same girl with straight hair. I can't. Okay. I will give you 50% off if you can find me a second picture of the same girl with the same hair color, with the same beachy waves, or however other way she's. Just find me a second picture of the same person, and I will give you 50% off then. I can't. All right. Well, then if this is all you got to go on, then we got to talk. Let's give me your hands. Let's have a trust fall. let's have an intervention, and let's really talk about this, because this ain't happening, girl. This is not. That's why there's a reason why you cannot find another picture of this person.
Along those lines, you and I had a conversation yesterday where I had a client that came in and she had her Instagram-y picture, and it would have destroyed her hair. It would have destroyed her hair. And I was dead honest with her. I said, to make you, the hair was almost white. And then there was this level 3 base to it.
Mm.
And she's already heavily highlighted. So I would, but more highlighted, like more of a beachy blonde. Right. And so I'm telling her, I go, this is going to cause a lot of damage, but look on Instagram. And I'm like, and I said, you realize that this picture has been touched up, it's been edited, it's been, and she's like, but my friend says that her stylist can do it. And I'm not, guys, I'm not egotistical whatsoever. I was just, in the back of my head, I was going, then why are you sitting in my chair? And I told her no. I said no. I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to destroy your hair. And could we have accomplished it? Maybe. But when that hair started breaking and cracking and stuff, I was looking to the future of the nightmare that this would become. Mm. And it's along the same lines as that. And she looked at me and she went, well, you just lost a customer. And I went, okay. I said, I'm sorry if you feel that way, but okay, fine. And I took the cape off her and she left. And in a couple of months, when she calls me, I'm gonna have to do some deep soul searching of whether I will take this person back or not.
It gives you an opportunity to take her back and establish some new guidelines because now she gets to become a new client all over again.
Yeah.
Like I used to 86 people all the time. They're like, I'm never coming back to you again. Okay. And then all of a sudden they call. I'm like, well, welcome back. They're like, I'm like, all right, you know what? Up until the point we broke up, you were that person. We are going to now start afresh. You are born again. You are now a new person. You are now your best version of yourself now. So we're starting all over, and you're going to have to rebuild the years of whatever establishment that we have. That's how I've been doing people. That's how I've been reconnecting with clients that went away for a while and decided to try to come back again. And those guidelines are harsher for them because they have to earn back,
your trust. Right. I get it.
I'm allowed to, you told me I'm allowed to have a feeling once a year.
Oh, is this your feeling?
No, if I'm going to waste that once a year opportunity to have my feeling, then better believe it. They better earn it. They got to be worth my while then. Yeah, absolutely. And going back to the 15-minute blow dry program that I teach, that was the whole purpose of it. I want to be efficient. I don't want to spend all day doing all that revolutions and that repetitions. Right. I don't want to sit there and trying to craft all these things. I don't want to have to rely on curling the hair to cover it up and make it look like a something. I want to be able to blow dry the hair and really show off the layers that we put in. I really want to show off the highlights that we put in, the dimension, the this, the that. You could still have curls. I'm not against it. But having curls be the only option is a terrible option. You got to have flexibility. Right. You got to have some fun. Right. You got to be able to pull your hair back in a ponytail and be able to see all that color coming through a ponytail. That's kind of fun in itself too. I have a lot of nurses. I have a lot of waitresses, servers, whatever they call themselves now. And therefore, with their job, they have to pull their hair back. Well, do you know how many styles you can do that actually can be built around the idea of pulling the hair back? Yeah. And when that hair is in that pony or in that bun, it could look like an explosion of other dimensional colors coming through that too. That is artistic. That is fun, man. Yeah. And then when they wear their hair down on their day off or whatever, they're going to an event or something. Yeah, why not have the opportunity to wear it? Or this is what's popular right now because of wedding season, half up, half down. Yeah. A lot of brides are not doing full updos anymore.
Right.
So coming up with these techniques of blow drying techniques to create that volume and fullness where it matters, to create the layering and have the option to be able to wear it straight where it matters. And especially volume right now on the top of the head is a big trending thing. Having the right technique to build that volume so it doesn't collapse after an hour.
Yeah.
That's the 15-minute blowout program that I teach.
That's awesome. And how about all the awesome volume products that we have at our disposal now? It's not just mousse and hairspray anymore. I mean, I know we could spend probably another hour on this, just going into this, but I mean, seriously, with some of my blow dries now, geez, my brain just shifted into neutral. The Xenogen volume foam is one of my new favorite toys, and the densifying cream. Dude, seriously.
I've been telling you.
And if you cocktail them, you're getting on my baby fine clients. I'm getting volume. They're like, how come my hair looks like this all of a sudden? And I'm just like, because I'm this good. No, I don't say that.
I'm just this good, but I'm not egotistical.
Not at all. Not at all. Hold on. Let me throw my shoulder out of whack, patting myself on the back. But and I mean, that stuff's a game changer. there's a lot of volumizing products out there now. It's awesome. And it makes our life easier. And I highly suggest to anybody watching or anybody that does watch this, take this class with Eddie, because it'll change the way you look at blow drying. And the days of each blow dry being it reminds me of like the 80s with the old aerobic workouts.
Yeah, there's none of that happening.
No. And there's, you know what?
I compare my blow drying technique to Tai Chi. It's very little movement for old people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean,
but man, does it maximize the effort put in.
And especially if you're older and long in the tooth like I am, or a couple of the other people. Holy cow. My phone too today. Really, I mean, it's a neck and a shoulder saver. It really is. Because we spend most of our days like this. So it's great. It's awesome. And there's a lot of tools at our disposal. Let's hear once again, I'm going to ask again. I want to hear from you guys. Let's hear about some of the things that you guys create volume with, and tips and tricks. Let's share. Let's really share with each other what we do to minimize stress and give our clients what they want.
What is the preference now? Is a flat iron the preference for curling, or is the curling iron the preference for curling? Because in my opinion, I think the curling iron, I don't want to say it's making a comeback, but I think for a while everybody was so excited about curling with a flat iron that I think people forgot a curling iron is specifically made for curls.
I'm not gonna lie, I still have my big old fat curling iron, man, and to do beach waves and things like that. It's depending on the hair though. See, once again, your tool depends on the hair too, doesn't it?
Nah.
Okay.
I have one brush barrel, and I don't care how long or how short the hair is. It's that one brush barrel.
It's the big giant one. Is it the big giant one?
You know what? And I have one flat iron, and I can make the biggest curl and I can make the tightest curl. Okay.
Look, I have this boar bristle round brush that I have had for got to be 25 years. I mean, this thing looks like my dog had been chewed on it and everything. And it is still my favorite brush. But in comparison to some of the newer technology on brushes, when I do whip this thing out, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I don't have carpal tunnel in both my freaking, in both my hands. And, well, I do almost walk with a walker, so we can't even get into that.
Fun fact, though, if you've lost more than 25% of your bristle, you are actually starting to produce more tension pull into the hair,
right,
which could potentially lead to traction alopecia. So you have to be very mindful about updating, replacing, resurfacing, or changing out your brushes frequently.
Oh yeah, because eventually that thing's going to go into like a shadow box, and I'm just going to hang it on the wall, still with the hair and everything in it.
Yeah,
right. Seriously, we all have that one tool that we don't want to get rid of.
No, I get it, man. Look, I can tell you at the salon, I see some of the round brushes on the girls' chair stations. They're melted down to nubs, and I'm like, I don't even understand how. Well, I understand how you're putting the blow dryer directly into the bristle, which you shouldn't be doing, but that's why you're melting down the bristles. Yeah, but it gives me more tension. Yeah, no, then that means you're not locking in the tension you're not using the tool the right way. You're just forcing that tension into the hair, which is then forcing that tension it's equivalent exchange. You're forcing that tension into your body. You're actually not doing anybody a favor. You're hurting the client's hair, and you're hurting your own body from that as well too. And as I'm talking about it, I'm starting to do my stretches just because I'm becoming self-conscious about talking about it. But that's the whole thing of it.
Right. Right. No, you're 100% correct on it. So, Any way to close this out? You got a way to close this out with us?
You got some motivation for the week?
I got motivation, and I got to find it. Here we go. You ready? I've been asking you that a lot today. Are you ready? I don't know what's going on with me. Okay. This is a quote from Buddha. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Now, I have a story that goes with this quote because I was reminded of this story earlier this week in talking with a young stylist. When I was a young stylist, I had someone look me square in the eye and tell me, "You're not cut out for this industry. You should probably do something else." I was a young man, and I took, back then I took everything to heart. But the problem is you and I have a lot in common. We both have oppositional defiance disorder. And I thought to myself, screw this guy, right? Screw you. But it always stuck in the back of my head of, well, maybe not. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. And I started thinking that way for a little while. It was a good solid few weeks where I thought maybe I shouldn't be, doing this. And it showed in my work and in the few clients I was doing, because I was still very new to the business, but it showed and then I just went, wait a minute. No. And I started with the positive mindset of, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be this. And, I'm moderately, I've had some moderate success, and the same thing. And what takes me is the same thing is about 18 years ago when you and I started doing our little song and dance on stage, and you, me, and Darren starting up.
Man, it's been 18 years. Wow.
Yeah, it's been 18 years. Actually, it came up on one of my Facebook things. The first trend command we did together, when you ate that stuff on stage and couldn't talk.
You should share that into the group. Wow, that's wild.
I'll have to dig it back up. And I was working for someone at the time, and someone came up to me, someone associated with the salon, and is like, "What are you doing with those guys? Why are you doing this? They're small. They're nothing." And I just thought to myself, by then, my mindset is completely different. And I was thinking to myself, F you, I'm going to do what I want. And we're going to make a run of this. And, and look where we are now, because both of you and I believed up here in what we were doing. And Darren believed in what we were doing. And it's all about your mindset, because where your mind goes, everything else follows, right?
What is this oppositional
defiance disorder?
Oppositional defiance disorder. Well, what is this mindset that I have?
Don't tell you no, because if someone tells you no, you're gonna do it anyway.
Who tells me no? Who says no to me?
A couple times I've been like, no, we're not doing that. No, screw that. We're gonna do it. I know you. Don't tell you no, because you will make it happen.
Because I'm a doer.
Oh, is that what it is?
I get things done.
But is that what it is?
That's my mindset. I get things done.
Okay, you're Home Depot, where doers get things done.
Then you know what? Thank you, Buddha, because you have trained me well.
But for everybody else, you can attach this to. You can attach this to anything else in life, where your mind really, what you think of yourself is really where you go. And if you think that you're going to, take that next step in your career, take that next step in your life, you got to believe it, right?
That's a tough one. So that's one of those, I'm going to put that in the category of, it's easier said than done. It's really, there is a lot of opposition that comes at you all day long. There's a lot of negativity that we are surrounded by all day long. And it is really hard to stay in a positive mindset, or it's it's already difficult enough to say, okay, I'm going to do this. It's hard for people to make a decision, right or wrong, good or bad. You have to decide on something. And like I said, it's hard for people to make that decision. A lot of people try to stay in the middle on the fence, like a little wishy-washy. They're afraid to commit to making a decision because everybody wants to be right. Nobody wants to be wrong. Everybody wants to be good, not bad, right? And so that right there, that hurdle prevents you from moving forward. Now, then you made that decision. Okay, well, as soon as you make that decision and you start moving forward with it, now you're going to get the keyboard warriors, and they'll be like, hey, that's a dumb idea. It's not going to work. You shouldn't do that. You know, you're going to get that opposition. You're going to get the negativity.
Right.
So now all that energy that you put into deciding, like, this is what I'm going to do, now all of a sudden you start getting closed back down again. You start getting beaten back down again. And you're like, well, you start shutting down. You're like, well, maybe I can't do it. Maybe I shouldn't do it. You know, the little voices start, you get the two things on your shoulders, right?
Right.
And you got to fight through that as well. And sometimes that's a road walked alone. And that is a long uphill road walked alone, because people keep putting hurdles in front of you. And then you just got to, you know, then those hurdles become once they become, that doubt gets planted into your mind, you become your own hurdle and you are your own worst enemy. So I can see what you're talking about, that the mindset is where everything starts from and everything else follows after that, because you start going off the rails really quick, then everything starts going off the rails really quick.
100%.
Every success story that you hear, every Hallmark movie that you watch has the same theme to it, because that is life. You start off with the best intentions, and then unfortunately, for some unforeseen circumstance, life knocks you down and you're in the gutter. You're in the, you're in the pits. You're at your low. The only way you get turned back around is you come to terms with your scenario, your situation, and yourself. You know, like everybody says, oh, I forgave myself before I can forgive anybody else.
Right.
Once you love yourself, then you decide you are you, and this is what you are doing, and this is who you are. That's the hard part in everything. That's that first step in everything.
Dude, let's be honest with all of us here. Life ain't easy. It's not easy. But what you make of each and every situation and how you react to it is what makes your life either well lived or living in a life of fear. And look, believe me, I've had, doubt is my, doubting myself is my second nature. And it's all about the mindset and making that mindset of, this hurdle's in front of me. I got two choices. I go through the hurdle or I go around it. This thing isn't going to beat me. And once you make up your mind that you're not going to let things beat you, it's amazing how life comes together for you. It really does. And yeah, poor choices. We've all made them. No one lives a perfect life, but it's what you do afterwards when you.
But you made that choice, and it's what you do. Exactly, it's what you do afterwards because you made that choice.
Exactly.
I'm all for that.
Exactly. And you know what? There's only one person to blame for that choice. You can point, like my dad, my old man, who, God bless him, used to tell me all the time, you point a finger at someone, you got three fingers pointing back at you.
That's why you got to give everybody the chop.
You got to But yeah, and you can only blame yourself. He, her, him, them, everybody. And I learned that early on in the salon industry too. You know, sitting there watching busy stylists and asking myself, all right, but I would ask myself, what are they doing to make themselves busy? It wasn't, oh, well, they've got all these clients and I've got nothing. Instead, it was, what are they doing to make themselves busy?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then when, because for 28 years working in a giant salon, clients will leave you. They'll go to someone else. And instead of taking that as an insult, you find out what changed their mind. I mean, you can't confront them, but you can talk to the stylist if you're friendly with them, or maybe they just wanted to change. They wanted something different, and you're nice about it. Instead of dwelling on it, you just look at it and go, okay. Because usually when one door closes, God, we're just hitting every one of them. When one door closes, another one opens up. So you know what? You're going to replace that client with another client, or eventually they do come back around. It's funny from what we were talking about earlier. All of a sudden you get the phone call. Hi, and like you said, now it's a different set of parameters now that we're going to operate on.
It's important. Like, I love these quotes, and I love breaking down what the quote means. Right. But I am additionally also loving that we're addressing how to start doing something too. Right. Because it's easy to just say it. It's easy to throw it out there. But man, it is hard to get started.
It is.
So I got a question for you then. And it's an old song. And I'm not good with the old songs, especially with the rap and the pop songs and stuff like that genre of music. Okay. What the song was, You're Down with the OPPs?
Yes.
So can we get a patch for ODD?
I will have a patch made for you.
Because once you do this, once you get your mindset straight and you start making those decisions and you start moving forward and everything falls into place, right? Then you run into people like you saying I have oppositional defiance disorder.
Wait,
because I don't let you hold me back from moving forward. So yeah, I got ODD. Yeah, you know me.
Actually, the ODD
That's my dad joke for the week. That's what I got for you.
Yeah, well, for you, the ODD is not meant as a rip. It's actually meant as a compliment, because
that's a weird it's a weird one, but okay.
No. First off, you were walking around for a week telling everybody you have a condition.
I have a proper condition. I don't just have a condition.
Proper condition.
Okay? You say it right.
You have a proper condition. And then I besides myself, you're one of the few people I've ever met that is as single-minded as, once you lock your freaking brain on something, it's come hell or high water, this is going to happen.
It's well, I don't see. I say unfortunately. A lot of people tell me it's unfortunate, but I say it fortunately for me. I had a really rough my origin story is really rough. I had a really bad, hard upbringing. Fortunately, I am so stubborn that it really turned me into a juggernaut that I am now. I'm like a runaway freight train, man. I just go through everything. Yeah, you're right. It's my superpower and my kryptonite all together, bundled up into one neat package.
Right.
My focus pushes me forward through everything, and I get things done. But my focus also pushes me through everything, and it sometimes makes me unyielding. And yeah, then when we get into it, or when I start getting held back from doing what I want to do, even if the person is right, oh man, it's not a fight, but it's definitely it takes a minute, and it takes an extreme amount of patience to deal with me when I'm set on something.
I've seen you dig a trench, and
I've yielded. I've learned to yield when I realize that there is a better way to do it.
Right. So, well, guess what, my friend? we're at the hour mark. We are done for this week.
So then I'm going to say this, actually. For those of you that have made it this far, if you think what we did was fun, and if you think what we did was helpful, share it to somebody. I'm going to say it that way.
Okay.
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 And if you'd like to support us and if you'd like to help us out, then that's why you should subscribe. For no other reason but that alone.
Right.
If we've earned it. And if we have, thank you. And if you don't want to do it, I don't care. Come back next week and watch us again and go back and watch our other stuff too. That's fine too. Don't matter to me one way or another.
Right. Right.
It gives us the ability to track our progress. It's our own grade card.
Right.
And if you don't mind helping out, that would be nice. And we would appreciate it. I'll leave it at that.
And then one more request, guys, before we're out of here. If there's something you want us to cover or talk about, send us a message. We would love to kind of give you guys some more stuff to chew on, and we greatly appreciate it.
We do go through all the comments.
Yes.
And especially, when you guys call and when you guys, getting a lot of contact through the HTB Beauty website. A lot of people are filling out the contact form through there as well too.
Yep.
So yeah, we definitely are active. We do respond to all of it.
Yes.
It's just sometimes a minute because we get a lot of inquiries, but we do respond to them all.
And I promise my internet will be better next week because I'm about to send Xfinity a nice message.
Nice.
Hey, thanks guys, and we'll see you next week.
Got it.